Outer Orange.
We're yoinking and twisting today, chat. Yoinking and twisting Curly's tier list. As per usual, nothing new to see here. Why make my own when Curly's doing it for me? It's like, you know, it's just how the cookie crumbles. Like, make your life easier by doing so by using someone else's work. That's how the yoink and twist. Set 5 is around the corner, and we've been talking about set 5 quite a bit. Well, actually, we as in the community have been talking about it quite a bit, and usually these tier lists do pretty well, even though my opinion is sometimes dog shit, but that's okay. We can figure it out together today. We're gonna basically be ranking everything that's related to Vanguard from beginning of time till now. Kind of get our opinions out and see sort of where things go. Set 5 is in here. I know it may not look like it, but it's in here. I may need your help, chat, because this is going on YouTube. I may need your help. We need to make sure we need to make sure I'm not an idiot. So we got S tier, which is basically the top dog, best of the best. I don't know if there's gonna be one or two or multiple, but that's the best of the best. Solid choice is A. So basically you can't go wrong with this pick. It's gonna perform. It'll do its thing. B is just standard, I guess. Like it's okay, not the best. I don't know how else to put this. It's like the middle of the sauce. Like it's just good enough. You'll probably get like a top with it. Nothing extravagant. C is like casual, kind of more casual play. Casual play. Not as consistent. Lord is your boy. Lure is a good boy to have right now. He's a good boy. He is don't do this to yourself. And then we'll probably have another tier that we will add. That's basically just we don't know yet. Oh my god, hi stranger on the internet. Hi stranger on the internet. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's a stranger. Oh my god. Hi Cardfighter 159. I'm your biggest fan. And that reminds me, let's remove some of the poo-poo decks. Goodbye. Anyway, we're gonna probably just put rank. We're probably gonna put this Varga here and rank the new Varga instead, which is right here, because you know this is like the new guy, which is basically old Varga but slow but better. So we're just gonna start with this guy. I think he's probably gonna go somewhere in the A tier. He just seems really solid. Not the best deck in the format, but just a good pick. It's just you can't go wrong. I've been saying this for a while. Some people either really hate Varga or really love Varga. There's no real in between because the deck is like so simple, and it's kind of like you check your triggers and do your thing. You restand the Vanguard, you go burr. And then there's like the games where you just don't do anything and the deck feels like ass. I feel like the deck is like the very typical definition of a Vanguard deck. You restand the Vanguard, literally swing with it again. That's kind of like the deck's purpose, and it does a really good job of doing that. Dragonic Overlord, the Divine Z, exactly. We're unsure about this guy. He reads well, like he does like this whole binding thing, and he gets like a dude out if he gets retired, all this stuff. I'm gonna throw him in the casual play tier since he's literally like a trial deck, but it has a good Regilius piece in it. We're just gonna throw him in the casual play. We have this Blaze deck here. I don't know. I've been seeing some weird results on it. I'm also gonna throw it in the casual tier. I think just casually you can probably mess around with it. There's nothing. If you just really don't want to play Varga, is it don't do it? Okay, we got it. Don't do it. Welcome in, Ken. Welcome. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream. Okay, all right. Don't do this to yourself. And it goes. Gnarly has spoken. Gnarly has spoken. I will take Gnarly's opinion over mine. I don't play Dragon Empire deck, so I'll always value y'all's opinion when it comes to this over my opinion. Doji, if we don't get the ban list, Doji's so hard. Set 5 changes a lot. I feel like he's not the best deck in the format anymore, but he's definitely not weak either. I think, I don't know how Love Address does into him. I haven't been testing with him because like he's getting like pseudo restricted, but he's still doing well. We're gonna throw him in the A tier, probably the best of the A tier slot, but I don't know. Raziel's also like Raziel, you know, yo, Raziel. He's just a solid choice given you put in the hours. That's fair. That's fair. So Doji, if you guys know or don't know, is like basically the best deck in the floor right now. Some would or disagree it's not. It is because it's getting first place in almost every event. You cannot deny first place on a deck. Like it's been pretty consistently getting first place. I think it missed like one so far, but that's in set 4 meta. We're in set 5 meta, so of course that can change. Hi, welcome in, Ken. Welcome in. But Obviously, that could change, so we don't really know where that's going to go. The ban list definitely will push this deck back a little bit. Not immensely, but it will push it back. It's still performing even with the ban list in mind. So we're going to put it in A for now. Some might disagree, might still keep it in S. I can understand why, but he's like between S and A right now if the ban list isn't intact. So we'll keep him there. We got Al Calibra. I think Al Calibra is a B. It's not the worst. It's not the best. I do think Step 5 makes it worse. I have seen gameplay of this. I personally have not played it. Like I said, not a Dragon Empire player, except Doji. I like buying decks, so Doji is a deck I play. But again, it's just okay. It can kind of randomly burst you out of nowhere. If it goes first, it's very aggressive. It makes numbers, you know, it's got that going for it. It just has a little bit of a hand issue and some other small issues. Consistency can be a problem if you find the pieces in the right order. So B tier. We have Eugene. This is new Eugene. I ain't gonna lie, I have no idea what new Eugene is doing. I could tell you there's nothing happening results wise. So up to y'all. Where do you guys think this is like more of like a C deck? New gen. I'm thinking more C, but I'm kind of aiming towards like the D. Okay, C it is. The Dragon Empire enthusiasts have spoken. The D. Damn. Okay, we got between C and D. Is new Eugene C or D? No, it's even. It's a 50-50. It's a 50-50, y'all. What are we gonna do about this 50? The typo, not the typo. Yo, screw y'all. We're flipping a coin. All right, we're gonna flip a coin. Heads is C, tails is D. Okay, C it is. The coin decided. He's staying in C tier. Dolls, I think, is a very strong B right now. I would put it higher if it didn't go into time as much as it likes to. Okay, to live so long, and you can live through a lot of turns, and it's great, trust me. But it does have a little bit of a time issue. And actually, I just recently watched WGP where that happened as well. Sorry, got jammer on. But anyway, so long story short, I think it's a strong B. It's good. It's just it just has some issues, especially when it comes to time, and time is very restricted now, so gotta be careful. Good Blackmire. Flaggy Boy can come up here. As much as I hate putting him up here, he's still a good choice in my opinion. A very annoying deck. It's one of those decks where you can't go wrong with taking it, but you also have to know what you're sacrificing. You're sacrificing your dignity, your soul, your existence to play this deck. And just letting you know what you're getting yourself into. Chill deck. You think Dolls is a chill deck? I think Dolls is cool. But just here for a good time. Okay. You must become zero. You must become zero. This deck is pretty oppressive, I'm not gonna lie. It's one of those decks where it has like a random auto win button. It's really hard to go around it. You can't really play around it that well. It's really annoying. I think it's a solid choice. Not the best choice, just a solid choice. Lukia is gonna go to casual. She's not bad, she's really hard to play though. Lyle, I think, is also a solid choice. I will admit I'm still mid-testing on this deck. I'm like somewhere in the middle where I'm starting to understand what this deck is doing, but I'm not like a master on it or anything like that. I think it's a solid choice. It definitely has some weaknesses, and we don't have the Shenri promo yet, and I think the Shenri promo does knock this deck down a bit. So I'm gonna put it here for now. If the Shenri promo comes out, I think we can kind of make some adjustments with this deck. I just think the draw matters. So I think that's a good spot. Glass is definitely casual. While Doji is still alive, this deck just cannot exist. Oh yeah, let me finish up Lyle real quick, just because this is like a newer deck. So Lyle basically gets an extra turn. You get to just be really annoying. The deck makes really good numbers. If you find your orders, it like kind of goes balls to the walls. If you go first, it's even better. If you get your gauge stuff, hooray. It has just a lot of good stuff. I will say after the divine turn, I feel like it has its like peak and it kind of dips a little bit, but I think it also depends from player to player. Glass is going here. This deck is low-key kind of bad, but it's mainly bad because Doji's a deck. This deck on its own isn't terrible. It's just really slow. I think with a good promo, it might get better. Pharaoh is a wild card deck still to this day, but it's pretty bad. So we're gonna throw it in the don't play. Low-key, high-key for realsies. Definitely gonna throw it in the. I think you just shouldn't touch this. If you want to have fun for casual, it's definitely like a casual deck. I will say it it's not even that fun casually because you're kind of just pissing off the person you're facing. You're really, if you just want to piss someone off, I mean, have at it. Play Barrow Madness, because that's all you're really doing. Because you're either gonna piss off the person you're playing against, or you're gonna piss off yourself because you didn't hit your win con, right? There's no real in between. Harry, we don't have Harry yet, but we are getting these decks kind of soon. It's right after set 5. I think we could probably rank them this time around. I think we have enough kind of information to kind of start ranking them. I think Harry's like a B. I did test into Night Rose, not so much Harry. I've also played Night Rose. Harry I've spent a little bit less time on, but I think B is a good spot. It's got tools. It's got its thing that it does. It just has a couple weaknesses. This is one of the trial decks. We'll just go throw them in here. This is old Raziel. We'll just throw them in here. Since it's old Raziel, we have old Lyle, definitely kind of casual slash don't mess with it type of thing. We have the new, was this Undercover? I think Undercover is a B as well. I actually don't think this deck is as bad as people think it is. It's just there's so many good Keter decks right now, and the Keter pile is just so large that I feel that the Undercover deck kind of falls off a little bit because of it. I think Alden falls under the OK tier as well going into set 5. I feel people really hyped this guy up a little bit. It can be really annoying, but I think this deck has a couple weaknesses too. Every time I've played against this deck, I always feel like there's like something it's missing. It's always something. If I'm on a really good deck, if I'm on a deck with the same level at it, then it kind of feels a little bit more unfair. It's kind of a weird one. Early aggro it is annoying, but think of it this way: all the Keter decks have annoying early aggro. It's not really like it's doing anything that different. At least that's how I view it, but. Not a Keter main. I used to play Keter quite a lot. I'll put him in the A tier. I think he's more of a B tier, but we could throw him in the A tier. I do think Raziel is really strong though. I actually think this is one of the top dogs. Due to calling PG and triggers without worrying. Yeah, you can play the hostage package. You can kind of you can also, you know, call over the PG and bounce it back to hit. You're right. It's got its stuff, I guess. Best way to put it. I don't know. I've seen this deck just die. Like so many times when I was playing, what was it? I was playing Leonore, Blagmire, and I think Doji were my main 3 that I played into Alden. I just found that I found that it just didn't have much issue just like slamming it down and just not caring what it did. His biggest issue is it's not Raziel. I think that's just the problem. It's just not Raziel. I'm gonna put it in B. I feel more comfortable with it. I think in set 5 it's more of a B tier deck. Keep in mind Love Address comes out, and Love Address is Love Address. I think Raziel is insanely good right now. I actually think it's one of the best decks in the format. It just heals so much, has so much resources. I just feel like it's the best Keter deck right now by far. I could be wrong. Like I said, set 5 is still something I'm like in the middle of testing right now because I was testing for set 4, obviously for the last 2 events that I just came back from. One was Georgia and the other one was Houston, though I ended up not playing standard day 1. I changed my mind last minute, but from current testing that I've been doing in the last, literally in between it all, I've been sprinkling some set 5 testing with a friend of mine, and so far Raziel has felt one of the best in my opinion. Astrom, I think Astrom is probably going to hit the do not touch this tier for the time being. It might get better over time. Velstra is like more of a casual, I think, choice right now, probably on the higher end of casual. I thought this deck was way stronger. And then the more I start testing it, the more I'm like, God, this deck just isn't doing it. It's not. It sucks because I really like this deck. But it just ain't doing it. It ain't doing it. We're going to put the Rotovisor in here as well. Dayusha was good, but it's definitely falling off. It's starting to hit like more of like the B tier spot. Maybe even C tier. It's so sad putting these decks down here. They were so much higher like last time. Archetype, I think, is starting to enter casual play. I could be wrong. It might be more like a B tier deck actually, but... Don't tell Dan. I know. Don't tell Dan. I just think it got like power crept so quickly. I think set 5 Divine just kind of set 5 Divine and set 4 Divines just kind of, they're more defensive, but they also have some good aggression behind them too. El Padillo I think is like a solid B. I don't know if the new stuff really changes him. I only know current El Padillo. But I'm gonna put him here. Good old Paul. I think Paul's just standard. It did just win an event for set 4 for us. Christian says a trial deck's not bad. It's just a trial deck. We'll throw him in with the others. Velino is weird. Velino has some really good matchups and some really bad matchups. I think this could be like a B. Not the worst, not the best. Sometimes she decks herself out, or sometimes she's just too slow. She doesn't do anything, which can be a problem. Kind of goes into the time issue with our doll guy here. But sometimes she just kind of blows you out. It just depends on the deck you're on and what you're facing. So this one's just very dependent. Zorga is weird. Zorga keeps getting tops. I don't really know why. I don't know what the heck is going on with this deck. I feel like this deck shouldn't be doing as well as it is, especially with Doji around. I'm gonna put it in B because that's where I truly feel it belongs. But if you were to look at the results, it's probably an A tier deck. I'm gonna stick it in B though because I don't know. We're on my channel, y'all. I don't know what to tell you. It's my channel. I make the rules around here. We have the Strafa deck. I think this deck is kind of dookie right now. I know we're getting a couple new stuff. We're also getting that new order promo. I don't know. It's like a gray 2. Don't know if that changes anything in terms of the Storkea decks that much because I haven't personally tested it yet since I don't know when we're getting that. But it'd be what it'd be. Here's Love Address. This is old Love Address. We'll put old Love Address here. I think Night Rose is a solid A tier choice. It's got a lot of tools, and what the tools they're doing are all really good tools. I just don't think it's like S tier. Spellstra is B, has 2 toss or BCS so far. It's a low pick. That's saying something. It's also biased towards Spellstra because my boyfriend plays. It is annoying. I've tested it a lot. I think so 5 Spellstra is a little weak. I think we could put him here, but I'm kind of like, I don't know. He's just not that good. He's just, I know he could be annoying if he goes second into him. But well, okay, we'll put him in B. B. Chat has spoken. Chat spoke. by my channel's rules, chat spoke. B he goes. Anyway, back to Rose. Rosy Cheeks. How do I explain this deck? She has the hostage package going for her, which actually is really good. Into some random matchups, you can just like win because you'll just keep calling perfect guards and they can't answer it, and you'll just win that way. Her downsides are that she doesn't really do much right now. She just draws cards and has 5 attacks and draws cards and has 5 attacks and draws cards and has 5 attacks. There's no real pressure aside from the flip. Whereas like decks like Luard and Jet at least have the guard restrict on them. Masai's got like the huge column starting really early on. Chiranui still has the dominant and is still very aggressive turn 1 and turn 2. Hold on, what's up, Leslie? She draws cards. She does draw cards. It has 5 attacks. Which means she's a decent deck. Exactly. She's a solid choice. The number 2 rules of Vanguard. Does your deck draw cards? Yes? Cool. Okay. Does your deck attack at least 5 times? Yes? Okay. Sounds like a solid choice. She's critically acclaimed as crazy. That's why she's in the A tier. That's why she's in the A tier. She's not here because she does nothing else, basically. That's all this deck does. It's just numbers of attacks. Anyway, I think Love Address is a pilot deck. I'm going to put him up here. Some may disagree with this. I am still kind of 50-50. So I have been testing. This is the deck I've been on the most. This is kind of like the Doji syndrome all over again. This is a very hard deck to test. It's one of those decks where you have to really spend a lot of time on matchups to matchups because some decks you're going to be denying and you really need to know when to deny, when not to deny. You need to understand when it matters. You need to know when to go in, where to put your tokens. You need to understand the mirror. This is probably the hardest deck to understand right now in the format by far. By deny, what I mean is you can actually minus your tokens to swing under. With your tokens, you can also just not give your opponent any tokens and kind of just take a bunch of onslaught by slowing them down, which slows you down a little bit, but slows them down more. And then understanding how much you're slowing them down for and how much that will give you momentum. Because basically what happens is eventually you'll win the late game because you'll have a 50k column board basically, and they're going to have a 50k minus board eventually. What happens is you eventually outscale them. And understanding how to play into that outscaling is really, really, really freaking difficult. This is not an easy deck to understand. So a lot of people will pick this deck up and instantly drop it because they'll think it's bad, especially going second. And then you'll realize over time if you actually like the deck that has a lot of small intricacies that matter a lot, and some people just don't know how to play into that. Think of it like Yotsuba, but way better. It's better Yotsuba basically. The alternate win con, of course, isn't that you randomly win the game, but the alternate win con is once you get to a certain point, your opponent won't be able to recover fast enough, and then you'll win the game that way. So very interesting deck. Marween can go down here somewhere. Christine is like, Christine's so weird. I'm gonna put her in B tier, but I don't know, this deck is weird. It has its moments, it just doesn't do anything unfair. I kind of have the same syndrome with like the Night Rose stuff. It just does its thing and it's very annoying at what it does, but it's nothing too like out there. It's not bad, but it's definitely not a bad pick. So I'm gonna put it in B. Flaming G supposedly gets good. I haven't tested the new stuff yet, but we'll throw Flaming G in the B tier as well. Sleeper pick, I think this deck is pretty solid. I agree. From what I know so far and what my friends have been talking about in terms of this deck, I agree. I think this is actually like it's like a B to A, somewhere in there. I actually don't think this deck's that bad. Results wise, it hasn't been doing too hot recently. It was doing a lot better on release, but I think it's definitely a good pick. Plus Saria, probably casual. This deck could be really annoying. I will not lie. Sometimes it just smacks you in the face, but it also just can't run perfect guards and a couple other things, which is not very good. So yeah, I think it's somewhere here. Well, it can run the sink, I believe. It can't run the other one. Actually, I don't even know if it can run the sink. I don't remember what the condition is. I just know you can't play PG. It's like really weird. But we'll put her in the casual tier because she's definitely there. Medio, I'm so sorry. You're like my favorite lyrical deck. Bye. Leafbell is probably more on the casual side. Hazelnut seems kind of weird. Michu probably hits the B spot. I think set 5 kind of pushes her down a little bit, but she's still annoying. Still a burst deck. It just pushes her down a little bit more than where she was. Kyoka definitely goes into like the C tier. Leticia probably C tier. This deck isn't bad. It's just not really it's just getting, you know, as every set comes out, these decks start slowly kind of falling a little bit. This one definitely feels more like a casual play. Some will disagree with me because, you know, they think it's like there's some annoyance behind it. I think it's just okay. It's more a casual. Coral. I'm putting Coral here. I'm sorry, y'all. I really want to like this deck. It's just, it ain't it, y'all. It ain't it. Like, there's better lyrical options. I will say casually, I'll put it in a casual tier because it's really cheap to play. Probably the cheapest deck by far in lyrical right now, aside from, I think it's even cheaper than this flowered deck girl right here, is because you literally don't need any of the expensive stuff, like at all. You don't need no cyclers. There's so much you don't need because this deck has its own engine. It's actually really cheap. We'll throw her in there. Vert's, I don't know. Vert's so bad. Lisa is probably up here somewhere, probably hitting A, but I think this set is more of an A pick, and I think the new set is like set 5. It's more of like a super, yeah, true. Lubin Rays is super expensive, but Lisa is probably here. I think this deck is really good set 4. Kind of slows down a little bit going into set 5. I think some decks can keep up with it enough to where it kind of goes down. Yeah, I think B is a good spot for it. Definitely still annoying. It's just the best way to put it. This is old Eugene. We're just gonna throw him in there. Bobby can probably go here as well. Nirvana. This is regular Nirvana. We'll probably throw it in the nah tier for now. Dote could probably be a casual pick. If you still to this day own Dote Overlord and you have been playing it, sure, have at it. Enjoy your deck. Like I by the way, you may think I'm like memeing, but I actually know someone that to this very day that I'm currently speaking on, which is November 27th of 2024, this person is still playing this deck. He's still, the only other deck he plays is Varga. Now we have Java. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've heard that Java can remove love address markers, and that is important. I don't remember precisely the wording, but I've heard it can. So because of that alone, we can't put this in like a meme tier. It's got to be at least B. If it has something, I don't know how consistent the engine actually is, but if it's consistent enough where it can beat decks, but then it can also answer one of the best decks in the room, then I can understand this deck being around here. Maybe a B tier deck. It has been getting results, and I think people are, you know, starting to kind of play it. We got Sneaky Boy. Sneaky Boy can just fall in here. He's probably way better than he is. I'll put him in casual. Gandiva. Gandiva I actually think is a lot stronger than people think it is. It's got some new cards. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think this deck's that bad. Porsche Nui, yeah. I don't think this deck's that bad, in all honesty. I just think it also is getting, it just got the new reveal today. I believe it was today. It's today Tuesday. It was today's Wednesday. It got revealed yesterday. Some of you I think is kind of cope, but I'm not gonna lie. You might disagree with me, but it's kind of cope. Vermilion, old Vermilion kind of cope right now. He can join the cope squad. Nui, I think, is still a good pick for the time being. We don't have the ban list yet. So because we don't have the ban list yet, he can stay in his little B tier. I'd probably put him up here, to be honest with y'all. It's still performing. I think I'll just keep him at the low A. He could be the low A. Can we at least put my boy at the bottom of B, please? You know what, Dan? I have a really good solution. Let's flip a coin. Let's let the RNG gods decide if he can move. Let's do it. Where is he? Where's our boy? Dayusha. Dayusha, you in Seer T, Dayusha? There's how I put you. There you are. All right, Dayusha. Heads to move it. Tails, it stays. Okay? Tails, heads, we move it. Tails, it stays. Let's change the color. Yeah, coin flip. It's staying in the C tier. Sorry, Dan. The RNG god spoke. Heads always shreds. What about tails never fails? What? Sorry, the RNG god spoke. The 50-50 said he stays. No respins! Alright. Anyway, Dinosaur Man. Goodbye. You can go into the Copeland. Dinosaur Man. Bruce, you can go join him. You can join him as well. Jetty Boy, probably in the B tier. Another just solid pick. You can't go wrong with it. It's just not the best thing out there. I think this is I think just the definition of B tier right now. Like, it is just an okay deck. Like, it's just good enough to where you can top with it, but it's just bad enough to where sometimes it does nothing. Jurassic Park music plays. Respin the wheel. I am not redeeming that. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. This is a coin. This is a coin. It's not a wheel. It's not a wheel. It looks like a wheel, but it's a coin. You see, it says coin. We could change its color. We could share the coin. I'm gonna share it. I want to share it right to you, Dan. Right to you, so you like remember. In case you missed it, in case you forgot. Wait, where'd it go? I hit the share button and it just disappeared. Copy link. There you go. Just in case you forgot. You can do it yourself too. I shared the coin. Anyway, back to this. Flip it again off screen to see if it lands tails. I'll flip it again. Let's see what happens. I'm just curious. I got heads. That's so funny. I'm not changing it though. Not changing it though. No. Not today. Not today. Not today. The coin already spoke. Anyway, back to Brucey. Goodbye, other Brucey. El Majester, definitely in Copeville currently. Chaos goes probably here. Decent deck. It's a pay-to-win deck. Sorry, it's a pay-to-play deck. So not even pay-to-win, pay-to-play. Greedon, Greedon gets some new cards. I always cope on Greedon. Greedon and Gravidio, the two decks that I keep coping on. I'm always like, man, there's something here. There has to be something here. And then I play it and I brick and I'm like, there's nothing here. Get the shit out of here. I don't even want to look at it anymore. That's how I am with this deck right now. I'll make a better cat deck. Cat deck can go casual right now. Hopefully it gets better. Jeweled is probably another B tier deck. It's just a good deck. This deck plays very similar to Lever Dress if you play it correctly. This deck can also stall out where it gives you 0 damage and then wins off of aggression of putting you to 0. We have this random dragon deck. I know Zarin Zephyr has been really pushing this deck. I'm going to throw in the casual play for now. If anyone feels otherwise, please feel free to tell me otherwise. Majesty Word Blaster can stay down here for now. I think this deck's kind of dookie. Phantom Blaster is not a B tier deck. We're going to put it back in D. I saw a recent result with it. I'm like, we have Graham Grace. It's definitely a D deck. I just said everything but Minerva. Minerva, I think, is a B, kind of touching. I think it's just B. Exorb is D. Cerulean. This is like not new Cerulean. This is old Cerulean. Probably gonna throw him down here too. Thegra can join this slot. Ezel can join this. Bastion is kind of dookie right now. Sorry, Bastion enjoyers. Your deck is out in death bill. Old Alden, we'll just throw him in here too, even though he's not too different from the new one. Youthberg, I think, is like B-ish, like low B-ish. It does its thing. If it wins, it wins. If it doesn't, it loses. You know, it's just like okay. Luard, I think, is a very, very, very strong A. It's lower if you're a Moggy. True. It's even lower if you're a Moggy. Because my boy, no, your boy's good. I think Luard is actually a good solid pick. I think it's still better than Rose, actually. I tested, so same friend who was testing Night Rose, he also plays Luard. So I've been testing set 5 decks into Luard. And I will say it is not unfavorable for him for the most part. Level Dress is kind of equal depending on how much damage you give it and how many owls are out and all that kind of fun stuff. But I actually think Luard is really good. I might be coping. It might be the player I'm on because the player I'm on just really, really, really knows Luard. So it might just be the fact that there's not that many Luard players and he's one of the better ones. I don't really know. I just think the deck is good. It still has the guard restrict. It can still randomly kill you off of just pure numbers. I think what makes this deck better than a Rose is because they essentially do the same thing, except this one also has a guard restrict turn and this one does not. And I think that's what's really hurting Rose. Also, Rose is forced to run extra copies of Rose herself to be able to go into the 5 attack play, whereas Luard can stay on the first one without having to rely on that grade 3 all the time and still play the game, and then they only basically need 1 copy. We got Poo-Poo deck here. Goodbye, Poo-Poo deck. Prison, probably somewhere in the B slot. Probably still, like, it's not the best, but just reasonable. Now we gotta rank her. She's down here. She should be in here. Oh my god, this... Oh, she's right here. Right here, but this is... Hero's probably casual. Bat deck is probably up here. So the thing about Bat deck is that it's a Glass Cannon Hyrule, like, ridiculous. It's like, think of Chaos, but just this is better. And that's basically what this deck is. Chaos is also a Glass Cannon mess, but like once you get there, you get there. So we have Messiah, probably still a B tier deck. It's just okay. Vanguard is pretty doo-doo. They're gonna do card. I just don't think it's enough. Ava is probably a B tier as well. Just a solid pick. It hasn't really changed. It's just a deck to take. It just hasn't changed much. Silhouette, goodbye. You're poo-poo. I play Silhouette, guys. I have so many feelings about this deck. None of them are good right now. Morphist, it'll get better soon. Gravidia, please don't don't play this deck. Just don't do it. I know, honestly, it actually has some it had like that random thing where it did well. So yeah, Orphis is definitely a rogue pick. It has like that burst. The issue is just has like a hand problem. It has a massive hand problem, and a lot of decks are really aggressive. Counter Sanctuary is the definition of aggression right now. You don't want to be an Orphis player with your 3-card hand. It feels like crap. Your video just decks herself out usually. Flagberg, oh my god, you're so bad right now. You need so much help, Flagberg. Please give me a new Flagberg. Please, anyone out there that's listening. Anyone in the corners of the streets, please. Somebody. Anybody, please. Please give me a new Flagberg, please. Help my boy, come on. We have like 4 Zorgas. 4. We have 4 Zorgas. Blue, red, purple, and mask, which is different purple. We have 1 Flagberg. We got 2 Raziels. Got 2 Vargas. Got like 3 Magnolias. We have like 2 variations of lyrical decks. Please give me Flagberg. That's all I ask. I don't ask for much. I don't ask for much out here in this very hard world. Magnolia, D tier. Mouse Storm. New stuff doesn't come out this set, so we'll put him in C. This guy also needs so much help. This Granfia deck. Oh my god, he needs so much help. Claudine, probably casual, just touching B. It can be insane. Claudine can be really scary. Just it has like 50k calms on turn 2. Varroa, goodbye. Mythiarch. Some people cope so hard on Mythiarch, so much that they made it an expensive deck. People deadass bought out cards. Why? Why are y'all like this? Not you guys in the chat specifically, but who was like, I'm just gonna buy it all out. Screw you guys. You guys can't have your casual fun. This deck isn't good. Ah! It's not good. Mask kind of goes here as well. And then we have, what is this? Leonore? Leonore is still a solid pick. It's probably up here somewhere. Kyrie's probably up here, maybe like high B tier. I think this deck's really good and also really bad at the same time. It's got like a weird mix. Hasn't really been doing too hot over here on the English side so far, but that might change. I don't know. We'll have to see. I think this deck has potential. It's a deck that has like a never-ending thing that it keeps doing over and over again. It just doesn't stop. Once it's on grade 4, you call your 5 cards, you swing with your 5 cards, you bounce your 5 cards, you call your 5 cards, you swing with your 5 cards, and then you bounce it all back and you do it all over again, recycle and repeat. What the deck does, it does it really well. The numbers are really annoying. Patroka is probably casual. It has some good stuff. I feel like the super hard Patroka fans are making the deck work. A little Hyrule still. It still has a couple issues. Clarissa is D tier. I'm sorry, Clarissa fans. Ellis Steele can join you. Lonero can join you. Ballista can join you. Some people will say Ballista's more of a C tier deck. She probably is, but it's just not worth your time. I think the issue with these decks, they're just, unless you're a die-hard fan, and this is like your favorite deck on the planet, it probably isn't worth your time unless you really just want to casually play something. That's where all these decks, all these decks kind of fall under right now. They're just too behind at this point. They have some stuff, they have the gang support. It's just nothing, it's just not enough to keep them in the game. LT joins this as well. Harminia is probably up here somewhere, a little bit higher. I don't think she's that great. For Tia is kind of in the same spot. Fennel, I think, is probably up here. Her issue, she dies to love address, so she is just okay. It's probably still B tier. It's still just aggressive first. Tiana, sorry y'all, Tiana's Tiana ain't it. Pacifica is okay. Yatsuba, casual fun. I know some people actually take this deck seriously. I don't think you should be, but Mushiking I think is kind of B-ish here. This is like the good Mushiking deck, the only one that actually does something. It's very aggressive. It just dies because of no hand. Big hand issue. My go probably, if especially with the ban of somebody, could be a little bit higher because Doji is like the main thing. Doji and Flagmire that are keeping this deck down a little bit, but I do think as a standalone pick, this isn't a terrible pick. Yay! Thank you, as always, to Curly for letting me yoink and twist his content. He did this for us right here. We can go ahead and probably put this up on the good old tweeters. So let's go ahead and get that up there. Peace out and enjoy the sonic beats as we exit it out. Have a good night. Bye.